Well, the appellate court affirmed the dismissal of the circuit court. The circuit court dismissed on the basis of insufficiency of outrage. There's 4 elements to the tort of intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, of course, these people are cowards and cur dogs. No other logical conclusion. I don't know. It was 2 hours later, and I had filed in the appeal court for invoked the jurisdiction of the Florida State Supreme Court. Now, of course, you know, you're not. It doesn't seem getting a higher class of people as you move up this hierarchy. Do I think that the Supreme Court justices are? No, they're likely even more compromised than the judges that I've seen already. But it's not just negligence. It's they conspire to leave newborn boys outside of the protections of the law, their constitutional rights. And so this is what happened in this slavery, the Dred Scott versus Sanford, and that caused a civil war. And of course, it's what happened when Hitler decided he could just pick a group of people and start murdering them. And that caused World War II. And, there was the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. People just decide it's really weird. It's really weird. And that's the class of doctors that we have today. The Tuskegee case was settled out of court for about $10 million. I forget what year that was. And then there's the foot binding in China, which lasted about 1,000 years and was inflicted upon the majority in some districts of the country, nearly 100%. And it started when the girls were 6 to 8 years old. They'd bind their feet hard or even break bones and bind them. And I forget who came into power. It's on the internet, and said no more. I read an article that suggested compared it to female genital mutilation, ending foot binding and ending female genital mutilation, where that's practiced still. It's outlawed in the USA, state and federal constitution. This is Florida. Require equal protection. So you just got these judges that are, I guess, I don't know, it's so strange to figure out. It's just like after World War II, the author that wrote the book Ordinary Men, try and figure out what the driver was for all these people to lose their shit. And it was just very mundane, groupthink type psychosocial stuff, which is, again, the same as the present case. What made me think of that book, Ordinary Men? Why are the judges so reticent? Okay, somebody's going to get their feelings hurt. This is all I can think of. Somebody's going to get their feelings hurt. Jews have given up 24 killing mitzvot. 24. Likely because when they went out to do that good deed, they didn't always make it home alive. But now the only one left for harming is the one against somebody that absolutely cannot protect themselves. Now, most Jews, a very large percentage of the heavy hitter intactivists are Jewish. This goes back to Jesus. If you read my little book on Amazon, Jesus and the Unimar, wherein he did figure out at the end the trauma that was noted by Simeon in the very beginning. He did by the end in the Gospel of Thomas, Part 4, was very keen on it. And of course, the people that put the New Testament together were very keen on it. They had vicious things to say about somebody that would do such a thing to a newborn baby. So now you have to also weigh that. No difference between people at all, as far as, individuals, yeah, I suppose, but groups, no, there's no difference. You have to weigh that against the fact that in the United States, probably, that's a guess, 90% of infant circumcisions are done at the behest of cultural Christians. Which is stunning. They get so far into Fantasia, they miss the whole takeaway. The story of Jesus is the most unresolved story in the history of mankind. And it was simply a traumatized child who, manifested as a pretty serious bipolar condition. He broke through any internal or external resistance to keep it in check. And but again, like I say, by the end, I credit him with that. He was just an intactivist. And they preceded him and have always been present. Intactivists, always been present. So, well, it was the same with Ted Kaczynski. His mother reported very clearly the trauma that he suffered in his 9th month of life, although Ted did not ever believe that was the cause of his imbalance, let's say, his inability to cope. So anyway, I did already send in to invoke the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. But do I expect more from them? If you don't buy a lottery ticket, you ain't going to win. If you don't put your hook in the water, you ain't going to catch a fish, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see. The second case, I expect a response by the end of the month, a few more days. Thanks.